Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the OU Football Preview Show. I'm Rick Heath. With me, Al Eschbach. Al, we are at Louie's Brookhaven in Norman, one of our favorite places. Great place, great menu, everything under $10. All drink and beer specials all day here at Louie's.
You know, they started in the state of Oklahoma and Norman. They're all over the state, pretty soon all over the world.
There you go. They're going to encompass it. But it's a great place to come have fun. They got big screens everywhere if you want to come watch the OU Texas game this weekend. If you don't go down to Dallas, this would be a great place to come at Louie's Brookhaven or any of the Louie's neighborhood grill and bars. Al, let's talk about it. OU Texas. This is Texas's, let's be real plain about it. This is Texas's season right here in one game.
Yeah, it is in a way. I mean, it'll prolong Mack keeping his job if they can win. I just use the word prolong. But, you know, yeah, it's their season. Have they quit? I don't know. I mean, you watch them against Iowa State. They were really lucky to win that game. They're just not very good.
Well, but to me, here it is right here in a nutshell, is that they can resuscitate their season if they won against Oklahoma.
But they're not good enough to do it.
Well, that's the thing about
it. They're like
they have the talent. They have the talent.
Why do you say that?
Well, because there are guys that will be going to the NFL.
Not many. They haven't had an offensive lineman drafted in years. I don't see anybody of these guys
going. They've got defensive linemen. Jeffcoat will be in the NFL.
He might get drafted. I mean, who else? I mean,
they've got defensive backs.
Just because these guys were highly recruited doesn't mean they're good players.
Well, they are. They have good talent. I tell you what.
Why do you say that?
Because there's anybody. You ask any Big 12 coach if they could have some of those players off there that say, "Heck,
they're recruited." The pros aren't taking them. Again, the last few years, Texas is not getting people drafted. OSU's getting more people drafted in Texas.
No, they haven't. Not numbers, because I saw the numbers the other day. Not total numbers. Now, as far as impact players, yes.
The bottom line is Texas is not. This recruiting stuff got to be thrown away. It has to be thrown away. They're bad at linebacker. They
lost the number one linebacker.
They're not good in the secondary. I mean,
they lost the number one cornerback.
I mean, their offensive line stinks.
Yeah.
And it stinks for years. I mean, I don't know. I mean, everybody with Texas, and I'm sure they got some talent, but it's not like back 5 years ago. It's certainly not the type of talent they had.
Well, the thing about it is also they're not bringing the talent to the surface. The other day, Bob mentioned in his press conference that development of players. That's a hallmark that he wanted to bring out. Texas is just the opposite.
I agree. I totally agree with that.
They haven't developed their players at all.
Totally agree with that. Let me tell you, just about, I'd like to, at least half the players on that team OU's offered scholarships too.
Yes.
I mean.
Yes. And now they look at it and now they go, we wish we'd have gone.
But you know what is also critical? They're so bad at quarterback. Their evaluation at quarterback has been horrific.
That's probably the biggest downfall for Mack. Hey, listen, if you're looking for OU Texas tickets, OklahomaTickets.com or Tickets Unlimited, 364-7500. Great selection of OU Texas tickets and the rest of the OU season. It's OklahomaTickets.com. We'll be right back right after this. And welcome back to the OU Football Preview Show. Rick Heath, Al Eschbach from Louie's in Brookhaven. A great place to come watch all your favorite, whether it's baseball playoffs, Sunday football, college football, whatever. Brookhaven's Louie's is a great place to come, as well as all the rest of the Louie's all over the metro.
They're tremendous. There's a reason why these places are so successful.
Well, yeah, there's not anything on the food menu over $10, and they have drink and beer specials every day.
A great place to watch sporting events.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun.
Terrific.
So come to your local Louie's and have fun.
I had a little trouble saying that, didn't you?
Yeah, local Louie's. There we go. Hey, let's talk about OU's offense against Texas's defense. I got a couple of things here for you.
Oh, my goodness. What do you got for me?
Okay. Number one stat, OU is 58-1 when rushing for more than 200 yards. Okay? The second thing is OU has won 38 straight games when leading at half. So, therefore, I say it's very simple formula. Run the ball well, run it early, lead at half. Game over.
Why wouldn't they? I mean, Texas defense is terrible. I mean, they're bad. How about you fire a defense coordinator at the a couple games this season.
Yeah, well, he had him in wrong places, as Bob Stoops.
Yeah, and Gray Robinson still has him. The new one. I mean,
well, he wasn't all that great a defensive coordinator when he was the defensive coordinator.
Well, you're right. And then at Syracuse he gets fired. Then Michigan. That's why Rodriguez got fired, because he was a defense coordinator.
But no, that was two of the stats I saw. That came from Texas's OU's press report, and in Texas press report, they've got a lot of problems that they've trying to gloss over with their defense, and there's no glossing over the fact that they're averaging 7 yards a carry against Texas's defense.
That is mind-boggling.
Yeah, 7 yards a carry. Now they say if you take out this and this, it's only 3.59.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but
let's take out this game. Let's take the BYU game. Yeah. Let's forget it happened.
7.6 carries. I mean, why wouldn't you look at that and go, we're going to run these guys, and take the heart out of them. Just run right at them.
They cannot stop the quarterback run game. I mean, BYU had this slow quarterback, going gashing. Just unbelievable. I would like to see a little bit of dose of Trevor Knight in here in a couple of plays.
Between Trevor Knight and Blake Bell, if they can get 70 or 80 yards rushing, I mean, that's...
That'd be a disappointment. I mean, BYU guy got like 160.
Well, I mean, they're not going to run them as much as they did BYU quarterback.
No, but
they're not going to risk getting somebody hit.
If it's open, you got to take it. I mean...
Well, yeah, but I mean, if they get... they get some good runs in the first half.
Yeah,
that'll soften them up, and that'll take Texas'
absolutely.
heart out of them.
Absolutely.
And then that's all it'll take, because Texas then, I mean, this is Mack's career that's on the line, because as you said, and it's his legacy. So he's going to try to get them fired up the first half. If they can you can take over and take that away from them, the Texas team will
totally
quit.
agree. I totally agree with that. Yeah.
And so right now, Blake Bell's going to have to throw enough just to keep it balanced.
Their pass game got to be better than it was against TCU. Got to be better.
TCU's defense is a lot better than Texas.
No doubt about it.
Especially their secondary.
Yeah.
That was a good secondary. I mean, you watch those guys in a replay. I watched it. Yeah. They were following them and attached to them.
Receivers couldn't get open, and I thought Blake Bell was very tentative.
Yeah. Because when he was ready to throw, they weren't open.
Yeah.
And so he had to read and take it back.
And then a couple of times they were open, he didn't throw it.
Yeah.
So,
but at the same time, no turnovers.
Exactly, which is a great stat.
That's a great stat. Even if he hit a couple times because he holds on to it a little longer than ordinary, he made no turnovers. That's impressive.
3 games, no turnovers.
Well,
very impressive.
And Patterson said after the game that was what they wanted out of him. Somebody told me that they had intercepted a pass 17 straight games. That's the first game in 17 games they hadn't intercepted a pass.
That's a great stat.
It is. And so that was a great performance by Bell not to make that mistake.
The one thing this team is, they're not as good offensively as they were a year ago. You just look at that. They're not as good. They're not as good a quarterback, but they're not turning the ball over, and they're not committing penalties. Now, they're not scoring points like they did a year ago, but they're not beating themselves at least.
But they're running the ball better.
They're running the ball better. But they're not scoring points.
No, but right now, if Bob's whole plan was to run the ball, run it effective, take some clock off, and have a good, strong defense. So far, that's worked.
Yeah, but he'd like the offense to be better.
Yeah, he would like the offense, so would everybody else. Hey, let me tell you about Rain Guard. Rain Guard is the home of gutter helmets here in Oklahoma. Gutter helmet is what they put over the top of the gutters to keep the leaves out of it. It's the best thing to keep your gutters clean and flowing good. Rain Guard's got 3 great locations in the metro. Give Rain Guard a call and they'll take care of everything you need for your gutters. That's Rain Guard in Oklahoma. We'll be right back with more on the OU Football Preview Show after this. And welcome back to OU Football Preview Show. Heath, Al Eschbach. Let me tell you about a great place to go and watch also. If you're on the eastern side of Oklahoma County, out by Choctaw, Turk's Tavern. Great place right next to Old Germany. Mike Turek and his family have been there for a long time. They've got great food, and now they've got Turk's Tavern, a great place to watch sporting events. And that great German food is right there. Plus, Al, you and I know great German beers right there. All the huge selection.
The best. It's unbelievable, the German beers. Best in the
and they got the best selection around. So if you're looking for a great place to watch, have good German food and German beers, Turk's Tavern next to Old Germany in Choctaw is where you need to go. Also, Manscaped. Gentlemen, if you're looking to get your hair cut and have a free beer, Manscaped, the body shop for men, is where you want to go. It's on Broadway in Moore, right next to Home Creations. So Manscaped, haircut, free beer, hand restoration, face restoration, feet restoration, all that and more available at the Body Shop for Men. That's Manscaped on Broadway in Moore. Now let's talk about OU's defense against the blustering Beavos. Right now, Case McCoy, being the quarterback, has limitations.
Yeah, he's not very good. Is that a good limitation?
I would consider that a limitation.
Think about this. The last two Heisman Trophy winners are from the state of Texas, and Texas did not offer them as quarterbacks. Johnny Football and RG3.
Yeah,
and then
they didn't want
the
him to play
list goes
quarterback.
on and on and on of the misvaluation of quarterbacks.
I think that's probably the legacy of Mack, is the fact that I don't know who was it that's evaluating his quarterbacks, but they didn't do a good job of it.
That's a great point.
Him.
That is a great point. Whoever was made the, pulled the trigger on the evaluation of quarterbacks, it cost them big time.
It cost him big time, and it's going to cost Mack his job and his legacy.
Yeah,
it's tarnished to say the least.
When he had Vince Young and Colt McCoy, obviously they were really, really good. Then, for some reason, he sold his soul to Garrett Gilbert, changed that whole offense of where he had mobile quarterback running zone reads. He's the one who really started with the Vince Young, the zone read, and just for some reason, the Garrett Gilbert thing started to decline big time.
And Case McCoy, look, he's a great kid, but he's not a really good college quarterback.
And it hurts him. David Ash is better than Case McCoy. He's got concussion problems. That really hurts him.
He may not be able to play again.
You're absolutely right.
He may not ever be able to play again. But McCoy doesn't have a strong arm. He can't really run that well, but they're doing what they can with him. They've got Jackson Shipley, Mike Davis. Those are wide receivers that are okay.
I didn't understand watching them against Iowa State. They could run the ball, but Major Applewhite, that was good. He said, you know what? I'm going to throw the ball 48 times. It's like I got Peyton Manning as my quarterback. I'm just going to throw. Their running backs. Jonathan Gray was the best high school running back in the country coming out. He's a really good player. But Texas goes, no, we're going to let Case McCoy throw the ball.
I can't see why they wouldn't come right at OU and try to assault them.
I totally agree.
Run game.
Totally agree.
Why wouldn't they? They've even though their offensive line's not great, they've got good running backs.
Well, and OU without Corey Nelson.
Yes.
So could be vulnerable
maybe
there.
without Jordan Phillips.
Yeah.
Because we don't know if Jordan Phillips is going to be able to play or not. So they've got two of the top front seven that are out. And Texas has got good running backs.
And isn't it amazing how probably every offensive lineman that Texas has, OU's offered, and they haven't had a good offensive line, I don't know when.
Yeah, they just can't block it as a unit. And I don't know what that is, whether it's coaching or whatever.
And again, they haven't had offensive linemen drafted forever.
I mentioned Mike Davis. I don't know if you saw the play that he got reprimanded.
Yeah.
What a cheap shot.
Yeah, and he reprimanded.
He should have been suspended.
That's exactly right.
He almost took the kid's legs out from him. Ruined his knee and his career.
And then a bad call. The replay official. You know what? I'll let you use my glasses, okay? Because you obviously didn't see the play. It was a fumble. They should have lost that game. Iowa State got screwed.
Yeah, and so now they live to play another day. And OU's defense, if they can lock up, I think I would try to lock up on the outside and say, hey, you're going to have to beat me with your arm. We're not going to let you run on us.
Oh, I totally agree with that. That's what OU would do. There's no doubt that's what they'll do.
Mike Stoops is going to, whatever he has to do to
put
get
a lot of
pressure
too.
Put a lot of pressure on him where he's not comfortable. He's got to move.
Who'll have a big game? I think Eric Stryker will have a big game this week.
I tell you what, he is so good at getting to the quarterback and making things happen.
Something they hadn't had the last couple of years. I think that was great in the offseason what OU decided to do with their changing, going to the three-man front, and then putting Stryker on the fringe to make things happen.
He's so good at getting pressure. Hey, let me tell you about Manscaped. Manscaped, the home of the haircut and the free beer. Guys, if you're looking for a beautiful young lady to cut your hair, drink a good free beer while you're doing it, Manscaped on Broadway in Moore. Go there. They'll take care of you. Manscaped, a body shop for men. We'll be right back with more from the OU Football Preview Show after this. And welcome back to the final segment of the OU Football Preview Show. Heath, Al Eschbach from Louie's in Brookhaven in Norman. Louie's in Brookhaven, one of the many Louie's around the metro area. Great place. All the food is under $10. That's great food. drink and beer specials every day, plus all the big screens to watch your favorite sporting event. Louie, great place to go.
Oh, I love it. It's just you can bring the kids, everything. It's a fun place, and the food is really good.
Oh, yeah, it's always consistent, so you know what you're going to get each and every time. I also want to thank some sponsors of the OU Football Preview Show, the Trails Golf Club in Norman. Be a member for a day and play the golf course of your dreams. Trails Golf Club in Norman, great shape, beautiful weather in the fall. Call them today. Go down, play it. If you like it, you can become a member, and you will enjoy it for the rest of the year. Give Kathy Hess a call at 364-3790 for membership details. Also, Turk's Tavern next to Old Germany in Choctaw. Great place. German food, good German beers in a alpine setting. All the wood paneling at Turk's Tavern. Go by, you'll love it. Turk's Tavern in Choctaw next to Old Germany. Also, Green Acres, whether you are a homeowner or a business owner and you want your landscaping done right, Green Acres is who you need to call. The landscaping people do it the right way at Green Acres. Give them a call. They'll take care of your home or business, landscaping, mowing, whatever you need from Green Acres. And also, let me talk about Rain Guard. Rain Guard, the home of the gutter helmet on your gutters. They have a great longevity. They've been in business for over 30 years here. They have a great staff in 3 locations, and they also do the best installation of any company out there. So if you want your rain gutters done right, give Rain Guard a call, and they will take care of you with their professional staff. Alec, I want to go back just for a minute, because I said at the beginning of the show, all OU has to do is run the ball and be ahead at half. And I said that somewhat facetiously, but they have great stats on it. But we had talked about if OU comes out and just runs the ball and dedicates it with the running backs and the quarterback run game, I think they can take control of this game right off the bat and not have any problem.
I agree. I mean, they are the better team. I mean, they're a 14-point favorite in this game. You don't see many times in this rivalry where the spread has been so big one way or another. But that's a big spread. And Oklahoma is definitely the better, and it's coach speak, but you have to take one game at a time. You win this game, then you should go to Kansas and win. Then you got Texas Tech undefeated coming in here, and then Baylor, and that'll be the 2 big games, Tech and Baylor, 2 of the biggest of the season. But you got to take care of business first, and you can't. We've seen also big upsets in this series. So
yeah, that's what you can't let Texas have any shot
early. I totally agree with that. If you
turn it over early or give them a chance to have a short field or give up a big play, whether it's a long run to Gray or a kickoff return or a punt return, anything that gives them life.
You got to hit them early, and then they're going to say, we can't beat these guys.
Yeah, then they get that in their mind.
And they're thinking what happened the last couple of years. These kids, they played. They know what OU did to them the last couple of years.
And their leading tackler, Jordan Hicks, the linebacker, that was so highly thought of, he's out for the year.
Yep.
They got Sherrod Evans.
Jeff Cody's never been the player that I thought he was going to be. In fact, I thought he was better as a freshman. Now I know he sustained injuries. Than he's been.
But he never got coached up. I mean, he never improved.
Nope, never improved at all.
And as
it's like R.W. Washington. R.W. Washington at OU, he was a 5-star guy. Doesn't mean because you're a 5-star guy, you're going to be a star.
No, it doesn't. Just because you got stars by it.
That's exactly right. And Bob Stoops alluded to that this week at his press conference.
Well, yeah, he likes that player development.
Yep.
He thinks his legacy from the OU football program is, well, just think of all the guys that were defense, they switched to offense or offense to defense.
Yeah.
I mean, Jamal Brown, all pro.
Davin Joseph.
Davin Joseph.
Andre
Lane Johnson.
Woolfolk.
Andre Woolfolk, Lane Johnson last year.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Dave Eichert came as a tight end.
Yeah, I mean, they have done a great job of player development.
An evaluation of where to play.
Yeah, we're the best, put them on there.
Yeah.
And I think that's a hallmark of the Stoops program, whereas Mack Brown's program hasn't been able to do that.
I don't think Mack's assistants have been good. He's keeping continually firing coaches. Of course, Bob's done that the last 2 years, but I think it's really helped Bob. I think Mack has made some bad hires. Obviously, the Chiswick and Muschamp were good hires, but the Manny Diaz hire was absolutely horrific.
Yeah, and it's come back to bite him, and it may cost him his job, but it will cost him his job because I think everybody's pretty much concerned that Mack is gone. And even in spite of all you guys out there that are sending Keep Mack Brown petitions to the University of Texas signed by the Sooner fans, that's not going to happen. Mack Brown is going to be gone. Let's talk real quickly. Baylor at Kansas State. Baylor, unbelievable offense going to Kansas State. I don't know about that.
Wow. I thought we'd know something at the West Virginia game, and we knew that how good this Baylor is offensively. Let's see. This is their first road game, and if they go in there and score 60 on Kansas State, it's just
it's going to be tough to stop them.
No doubt about it.
The only way you can stop Baylor then would be to keep their offense off the field. Ball control and run them down. Yeah. And then, okay, prediction. My prediction: OU 33-10. Al, your prediction might be?
I'll go 35-13.
35-13. Both of us think it's going to be pretty much of a blowout. It may be even worse than that if they get up early. That's going to do it for the OU football preview show. Be sure to watch us on YouTube at Joe Fan Sports and on Facebook, Joe Fan Sports. That's going to do it for the OU football preview show.
Another handoff. Left flag. Breaks it. Watch out. At midfield. Does he have the speed? Yes, he does. Touchdown, OU. And the Sooners take a 19-10 lead. Clay's supposed to break here, but the hole comes back here. Watch the vision of Clay. Right there, look at that. And now, it's just straight sprint. TCU bunched the line, crowded the line of scrimmage. That allowed Clay to get to the third level on 2 steps and took it the distance.